In this mosaic tips and tricks, I would like to go through the simple steps of putting a concealed silverware drawer behind the top drawer front on the cabinet that is left of the sink base. Let's go ahead and just double click on the cabinet left of the sink. I'm going to get the overall sizing of this drawer box first. I'm going to go over here to the right and select View Cut List, Drawer and Tray Box Sizes. You can see these drawer boxes have a width of 18 7/8. What I am going to have to do here is I've talked to my customer about this, and we are going to put 3 equal drawer fronts on here. That way we can add a rollout or a concealed drawer behind the top drawer front. Now that we've got the width of our drawers in here, let's go to the Settings tab, and I want to see what drawer boxes and guides I'm using. You can see I'm in the Drawer and Tray Box tab. I'm using a Mosaic undermount drawer box with a Bloom 563H undermount drawer guide, and I'm using a Mosaic undermount rollout tray with the same drawer guide selected. What we want to do is go to the Libraries tab at the very top, select our drawer boxes, and this opens up the drawer box editor. Let's select the Mosaic undermount rollout tray because I already have everything set up the way I want to build this actual tray here. You can see I don't have standard heights checked for my tray because I want my tray to come in at 3 inches high. I've also got my depths already set up to match the drawer guides and my standard clearance. What I'm going to do is make a copy of this actual rollout tray. I'm just going to call this Silverware 18 inch, and then we're going to put a dash RT so I know it's a 18 inch silverware drawer as a rollout tray. Down here at the bottom, you can see this Section tab. When you select the Section tab, this opens up the Drawer Section Editor. I'm going to set my sample box width at 18 7/8. That way it matches the drawer box in the job. My depth would be 21 and my height would be 3 inches tall. I am using the 1/2 inch Baltic birch material template that I have set up in my Materials tab. You can actually add dados to these dividers and partitions that we're going to add here, but right now I'm going to leave those set to 0. I highlighted the inside of this drawer box, and I'm going to split it horizontally, and I'm going to select the first open area here, and I'm going to set this depth right here to 5 inches. That way I have a 5 inch. We're also going to put a scoop here on this tray. On the back section, I'm going to split it again, highlight the open area, and I'm going to set the depth of this to 5 inches. This middle area is set to 9 inches now, but I actually want that at 11, so I'm going to change the depth of the front and back here to 4 inches each. That way I have an 11 inch opening for my silverware. When I highlight this area, I'm going to select the multi-split tool, and I'm going to split it vertically based on this menu here, and I'm going to split it into 5 dividers and select OK. Now there's my silverware drawer right there created. The width is 18 7/8. The depth is 21. It's going to come in at 3 inches tall. I'm going to select OK now. Now, if I left click on the tray front here, this opens up the part editor. I'm going to select the top line here and make it turn red. And over here on the right, you have points. I'm going to select add. I'm going to highlight the line twice and add 2 points here. This first point, I'm going to select the X value. As you can see, there's my X going horizontally and my Y is vertically based on my computer screen. We're going to write a formula for the X value, which is the length of this part for both individual points. What I want to do is reference the center of the part and deduct 3 inches for the first point. And I want to reference the center of the part and add 3 inches for the second point. You can see my first point is highlighted in red. I'm going to select the formula bar. This opens up the Part X formula editor. Up here in the area where you enter your formula, I'm going to type in part length divided by 2 minus 3 times time. Now the 3 times time, that'll convert the 3 to millimeters. If you look up here, all numeric values must be in millimeter units. So that'll give me 3 inches right there. Now on this point, I'm going to select the formula bar for the X value again, and I'm going to type this part length divided by 2 plus 3 times time. And that will do the same thing, convert it to millimeters, but on this side of the center. Now, the reason I wrote a formula, you can see it highlighted blue there, is so they stay parametric if for any reason I use this particular rollout tray in another job or another cabinet. I'm going to now highlight the line, and I'm going to set my bulge length to a -1 inch right there. And you can see there is my bulge. It'll be parametric. 6 inches total across, 1 inch down, no matter how big or small that drawer front becomes. And you can see that now. Select OK. Now I'm not changing out my rollout tray in my settings tab, but what I am going to do, go to the products tab, double click on the product number 2, and I'm going to select the 2D, 3D view product. Let's go to the left view so we can see a cut through of the cabinet. I am going to keep it into the wire mode here. And now what I want to do is adjust this drawer box down so we have room for the rollout tray above it. Let's go to the face tab. I'm going to select the top drawer, which is the top drawer of the actual cabinet. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to select the adjust tab. This opens up the face opening options. Right here you have drawer box adjustments. Let's go to the height. I'm going to put a -4 in there, so that will adjust the height of that drawer box in -4 inches. That should give me enough room above here for a 3-inch actual tray. Let's use the measuring tool. And let's measure the clearance. I've got about 4 1/4 left, which will probably work out. Now the next step, what we want to do is we want to add a tray here. So we're going to go to the interior tab. When you are making these adjustments, if you look at the interior view in the product editor and you look at the product viewer, you can see they are much different. You have a bigger space under here. Please do all of your adjustments with the product viewer open. I'm going to select the top opening. It's highlighted in red, and I'm going to split it 1 time horizontally. You see it added the adjustable shelf, including the 5 holes per shelf. I'm going to change the type from adjustable to a separator. Now that all disappeared, but you can see the separator in this particular area. If I use my measuring tool from this top of the bottom stretcher here to the top of that drawer box, I am at 4 7/8 of an inch. I would like the separator to be positioned 1 inch above the top of this. So I'm going to have this area of the separator at 5 7/8 of an inch, and that brings that separator up. We might need to do some adjustments on this. If you select above the separator, I can split it again, and now I can change the type to a tray. And you can see there's my rollout tray in there. I wanted to have about 1 inch here for my actual distance, and it's almost 1 inch. Let's move that down just a little bit. So I'm going to select below it, and let's change this to 5 3/4, and that moved that separator down a little bit and adjusted my tray. Now I have room for my undermount drawer guide on there. One thing you need to keep in mind here is if you look at this actual perspective view, I just have the regular rollout tray in there. I can now select the tray itself, go to overrides, And my tray override, I'm going to change it to the Silverware 18 and select OK. And now you can see I've got my silverware tray. Let's go to our layers and let's turn off the tops up here. And let's go ahead and get rid of the doors so you can see this. So there's my silverware tray above my top drawer, and I've got the scoop, and everything is ready to be cut where you don't have to order that silverware tray from an outside vendor. You can do everything within the software using Mosaic.